4.5 years ago. I was caught in the middle of a bad drug deal and more or less left in the woods with a bunch of really bad men. And I was labor trafficked, did over 33 different homes for 19 months. I was a sex slave to one man, and I was sex trafficked a few times, and I was like a pet on a leash.
Merriam-Webster defines human trafficking as the criminal activity in which humans are treated as possessions and are controlled and exploited. There is no known number of victims of this ugly crime. Every day, all around the globe, more and more people are exploited by traffickers. Before one can understand trafficking on the global level, one must understand how it impacts their own towns and communities.
Human trafficking has a big misconception.
As Americans, we have this impression of what a victim of human trafficking looks like.
I blame part on Hollywood.
In the US, we think of a movie like Taken.
People think that a girl is taken, you know, there's some creepy old man just kidnaps you and takes you away, and that's the farthest from the truth. There's all kinds of trafficking situations. You don't have to be trapped in the middle of the woods to be being trafficked.
Oftentimes, trafficking starts out as relationship.
Most of the time, it's by a guy that romances a girl into believing that she is special.
He forms a bond with his girls. And I know that's odd for people to say, but when you are needing shelter, you're needing protection, he gives that to you. He makes you think that he loves you.
Most people would take someone up on that opportunity expecting that it's a good thing. Then oftentimes there's like a switch that gets flipped where it no longer is just I'm helping you out, but rather a you owe me, like I'm helping you and you owe me for that.
It becomes such a mental game where someone has got complete control over someone else's emotions. I cannot tell you how many times I have had individuals who just don't understand and will say to me, well, they're not a victim, they could walk away. They're not tied into a basement, why didn't they walk away?
Oftentimes it looks like somebody who is freely choosing to do the things that they're doing.
It's not us to judge the chapter we walked in. An individual that has been victimized at times don't even realize or consider themselves a victim.
A lot of people say, well, why doesn't she just get out? It's not as easy as getting out.
There were lots of men, and I would clean, I did their dishes, I did their laundry, I cleaned their homes, I prepared drugs for them, I would clean up their drug paraphernalia when they were done. I would sit there and look pretty while they did drug deals. Anytime I would be able to muster up a little bit of courage, he would do something to deplete that courage. He would call me horrible things to take all my confidence away to where I didn't care again. And then he would, we're not gonna do these drugs anymore. I'm not gonna be on the run anymore. We're not gonna do this. I wanna love you. I wanna take care of you. I wanna provide for you. Just everything that a girl wants to hear. And that would a lot of times make me either go back or consider going back.
They're being taken advantage of. They feel like they're trapped in a corner and they're doing things that they don't want to do, but they don't see any alternatives.
It was a very sick kind of love.
We have to understand the intense pressure and manipulation, the intense retribution makes them far more of a captive than you or I could ever imagine.
Human trafficking victims are pushed to their limits daily by their traffickers. The list of physical and psychological problems these victims can face are endless. Many victims face increased chances of sexually transmitted diseases, nutritional deficiencies, and post-traumatic stress disorder or depression.
I went through the immense amount of pain where I was just hurting all the time. My mind hurt, my heart hurt, my body hurt, everything hurt. I cut myself, I tried to kill myself. I tried everything that I could to feel something, and I couldn't. I was just numb. I felt so unworthy of anything because I was treated less than a dog, and it was scary.
Traffickers are knowingly aware of the pain they put their victims through. The question many ask is, why would someone choose to do this?
At its root, trafficking occurs because people get selfish and greedy. I think a trafficker, somebody who's exploiting someone, sees an opportunity to take advantage of somebody else and takes it.
They have been surrounded with evil and in pain their entire lives, and so they don't really know how to do anything else.
Trafficking is a system within other systems. People, because we're people, are vulnerable, and we all have our own broken woundings and areas where we could be taken advantage of should the right person come along and try. There are always going to be people in the world who want to exploit and take advantage of other people. That's enough reason to pay attention for ourselves, but then also for everyone around us.
To end human trafficking, we all have to realize how our voice can be used. Einstein said that those who have the privilege to know have the duty to act. And I don't believe that there's anyone in the USA anymore that can plead ignorance about this topic.
One of the biggest misconceptions that people have is that it happens elsewhere. There's kind of this mentality that it doesn't happen here, or we don't see it, so it's not happening here.
Trafficking is all over the place. It's not just in big cities.
It's happening right here in our own backyard.
There could be girls right now that go to work every day that are being trafficked, girls that are going to school every day, that their parents are trafficking them.
If we only look for the girl who's getting kidnapped off the street or the girl that's from another country, we're missing out on, I would say, probably 90% of the victims. There's a way that we could be paying more attention to the people around us and the things that they're going through or the comments that they make about their lives.
If we treat everyone with respect, with dignity, and if sometimes we'll just go that extra mile to really see them.
I remember times where I would go to gas stations and that was the only place I would go to get food. And I always thought to myself, if one person would have just helped me or asked me if I was okay instead of looking at me and judging me.
But no one sees and no one really asks. Even if they have a hint, why won't someone just say, "Can I help you?"
I shouldn't be alive, and so I look at every day as a gift. And if I could speak to those girls, I'd just tell you, it doesn't matter how far gone you are or how far out there you were or how hurt you were, you can get better. There's power in a testimony.
See something, say something. See something, say something until somebody listens to you. It is a collaborated community effort.
Do something to help your fellow human being out.
Be aware of where you're at.
A lot of us have the sixth sense. You have the tingle in the back of your neck and all that, and you say, hey, there's something not right about that.
There's a sense of camaraderie that we could have.
It's not a statistic. It's a face. And it's someone that you've cared for. It's somebody that you've touched. It may be a little sister. It may be a daughter. It may be a grandson. Whoever it is, that is one case too many. Don't consider that, oh, well, I don't want to be nosy. It's not my problem. Somebody else's problem is our problem. The repercussions of human trafficking on another person should be affecting every single one of us.
And so I don't care how young you are, you can hear this and you can believe it. You can make right decisions starting now and it will change your life.
You don't just turn off the clock at 5 o'clock and walk away from this. It goes with you. Look beneath the surface. Don't just take it for what it is.
Know the difference. Use your mind, use your brain.
Say, I care, I'm going to do something about this, and I don't want it to happen in my backyard.